Hello everyone, my name is Ghost, and today we got a whole laundry list of stuff to go over. Primarily going... Oh, hang on, sorry, I'm still working with it. Primarily over the new balance of the clans with the second goat nerf and addition to new tiles, as well as some possible new clan theories at the end if you guys are still interested. So the first thing I wanted to kind of talk about once I lower down the volume just a little bit more, there we go. Is the new clans and how they handle the new patch with the goat getting industrialized, removed from most of their buildings unless it's non-food essential, and I believe the pond being added to help kind of with the bear clan. So I actually wanted to start off with these two topics being hard and easy, because this is actually kind of an important note here. Just recently I've discovered that there is a new challenger that has kind of arisen from this recent patch, and it was kind of the demon that Shiro Games tried to put down with the first patch, the combat patch, which is the wolf. In the right experienced and capable hands, not mine personally, but in the right hands, the wolf has made its new appearance, and it is quite scary actually. On hard difficulty, most economic clans, I would say, can prepare for an 801 Berserker rush, and I kid you not, I have seen it and I've done it myself. Getting Berserker before about the first winter makes you a very deadly force, and it's something that can and is done by a lot of very skilled players. So I wanted to go over the clans, kind of the hierarchy, and then talk about some stuff afterwards. So straight off the bat, in hard difficulty, I actually think that the Wolf clan has become the new strongest clan because of the balance, because of the way that the neutral tiles will always attack, villagers, and wolves that attack a wolf player, it's kind of like fast food delivery. It comes to you for free, and yeah, you take a little bit of damage, but it's 20 free food, and if you're killing stuff as was before the combat patch, it's quite strong. It is quite strong. The kind of the way that you go about it is a little bit changed. Now the wolf is going more through the trading route. They'll go for, I believe it's trading, and then they'll get weaponsmith, pillage, and then they'll actually go up the trade route. So they'll get coinage if you need it for oh god, the word is the traders, the merchants. There we go. Typically you'll have the wolf trading wood or something, which is also another thing we'll get on. And actually I'll write that down right now, because wood, as weird as it sounds, we need to talk about how you, as any other player, need to have wood in your base, and how having two woodcutting huts is actually kind of viable. Woodcutters. All right. So yeah, you'll have the wolf trading wood, which, to their allies gives them better infrastructure. Typically, if I'm playing as the wolf clan, I'll actually just trade it to my goat, who then gets more infrastructure. And then I'm basically using that extra money to finance an army. I'm now using the Berserker I have at 801 to run around and clear my allies' tiles. I'm getting the money from pillage. I mean, it's basically like the wolf before the combat patch. The only difference is, instead of having axe throwers being mass spammed, you have warriors being mass spammed. And it's kind of interesting because that pendulum of the wolf is incredibly OP, we must nerf, has swung into the goat favor, and it was the goat is incredibly OP, we must nerf them. It's now starting, the pendulum is starting to swing back into the wolf is becoming a lot more viable in hard, and players need to be very aware that playing the wolf, it takes a very fine-tuned hand. I will tell you this now. If you don't know what your opponent's doing and they pick wolf because they're like, oh my god, I saw a Coordinax play this really amazing wolf game and I can do it easy. I've got like 6 games as a wolf. I can do it, no problem. Don't trust them. They have no idea what they're doing. Unless you know that your team can pull this off and has help. That's one of the biggest things. You, as the wolf player, you need your allies' support. Having a bear help clear with you, having a goat, give up 2 villagers to become warriors to help clear with you, you need that to survive. But you can do it. It is a viable option, and it's actually a very powerful option once you get that Berserker out. So hard clan, like I said, I think currently after a week later, after the balance is done and it's been released to the public and the meta has kind of resettled in, I seriously think that the wolf has kind of sneakily taken the top spot for the strongest clan in Northgard, at least on hard difficulty. Then you do, of course, have the goat, the bear, And then I think, actually, no, hang on, let's back that up. For the hardest difficulty, the strongest clan, again, in my opinion, is the wolf. Then you have the goat. Then you have the stag. Hold on. Then bear, and then raven. And the stag has taken the bear's position because the pond is not enough for the bear. And I think the devs think that it is, but there's been a few instances, and I've had this now, where you only spawn with a whopping 1 tile, and that is the pond. And it's painful, it is brutal, and we'll be getting into why I think we need to have more food tiles scattered throughout the middle of the map so players have a natural expansion towards, but we'll get to that later. So in the easy difficulty, it still stands as is: goat, bear, stag, raven, wolf, because that allows those economic players that time that they need to gather the resources and have their infrastructure and get the production. And by the time the wolf does come rolling in with his 8 to 10 warriors, the goat or the bear players is typically ready for it. It's just that early rush, that early aggression from the neutral camps that, you know, the goat or the bear won't normally have because they are playing on easy. It's completely flipped over. And of course on hard you also have fewer resources, much aggressive neutral tiles, and that is where the wolf thrives. It thrives in these, like, I get 20 food from murdering wolves, boom, I went off and murdered a whole wolf camp because I can, because I'm the wolf, you know. Goat doesn't benefit from that, you know. I played a 3v3 earlier today, where I spawned in as goat, my ally was a bear, and my other ally was a stag. The other team had a wolf, bear, and I think goat. And on my side, because we didn't have a wolf, I had 6 wolves on one tile, 6 draugr on another, and then 4 draugr on a stone tile. And obviously, as the goat, I'm never going to want to clear that. I needed to, but I didn't have the resources to, and we didn't have a wolf that had any interest in clearing it. Because the other team did, they had the money, they had the food, you know, that wolf really had the strength to just clear through, and it was actually quite interesting to watch. And you know, we did lose, but it was a very interesting learning experience. So woodcutters and why you need more of them. With the forest kind of cut down from 20 to 10, I believe it was a patch. It wasn't this most recent patch, the patch before, and I've noticed that with the goat clan and quite a few of the other clans now, with stone being a little bit lower, it just feels like you need more wood, as weird as that sounds. The production and the infrastructure rate that you need, I mean, especially as the goat clan, you know, you need 100 wood for the town hall upgrade, assuming you aren't going carpet masteries first, and then assuming, you know, if you're going trading, shipbuilding, carpet masteries, and then food goods, for food trade, because you're trying to go for the Jotnar, that also in itself is incredibly broken, but that's for a whole nother topic. We're talking about why you need woodcutters. That upgrade demand is very high, and especially if you are playing as the goat, you're typically going for a very heavy economic kind of support role. And so having 2 woodcutters, 2 woodcutting huts, is typically quite easy to get. And for a lot of the other clans, I've noticed that when I'm playing as the bear, when I'm playing as the wolf, when I'm playing as the goat, having 2 woodcutters huts, literally one in your main base and then having one in hopefully your forest, is actually a very viable strategy, because it helps you kind of get that infrastructure and production you need that you don't normally feel like you need. And I think the music either stopped or it's just very quiet. I was like, why did the music kind of magically disappear? So yes, that is woodcutters. It feels like you do need them a lot more often. And on to the next kind of half part of the current clan balance and the newest release. Actually, hang on, no, it doesn't matter. Actually, oh, no, we can switch over then to here. Oh, that's a face, sorry, hang on, can you not? There we go, okay. The Kobolds, the new tiles, and Big Bird. Big Bird being Veldfornia, which is the new bird that can fly around and scout tiles for you. So, in the new patch, with the pond being implemented, it feels like there is just not enough food. There's not enough wood, there's not enough anything for the current clans. And what I mean by that is, with the pond implemented for the bear, it's nice. It's very nice that bear get this wonderful bonus to go through the harpoons and stuff. But again, with this new kind of challenger of the wolf, you don't really have the time for that. And what I've noticed is you need, obviously, players need food. Without having that food production there, you struggle and you fall behind, and by the time you get into a sort of comfortable, 801, 802 position, the wolf is already knocking on your door, and it's, as I say, it's kind of interesting. It's like a flashback to before the combat patch. By the time you get to 802, that wolf is already knocking on your door saying, "Sup, son, I got 8 warriors and you've got nothing." If a player survives past 802 because maybe they sniped the war chief or maybe the enemy team just doesn't know how to play it, the 2 food tiles in your base are not enough. And I mean that in all the most possible way. I feel like there needs to be an addition to either immediate surrounding food tiles or food tiles closer to the middle of the map. So when I scout the middle of the tile, and let's say it's the Tree of Life, there needs to be like a deer tile or a fish tile or something nearby that gives me a bonus. It's just another way so that when I expand, there's something else I can reach towards. It's like, oh, in 2 tiles away, there's a deer tile. Perfect. I can work towards that and then grow my economy more. It's very difficult in the 804 and 805 games to have much of a long-standing economy, and that sounds weird because I know that the higher up kings are going, oh, what the heck, what's he talking about? I'm at plus 34 by 805. In the hard difficulty, when you're dealing with a very close competitive match and you only have 2 food tiles, that extra food is just a little enough to kind of prolong either side of the game. And like I said, it feels like there might need to be either another deer tile, another fish tile, maybe just adding more pawns to the middle of the map so that players can survive winters a little bit easier in late game, would help with that longevity of the game, so that the goat player has something to work towards, or the bear player has something to work towards. It just feels like once you get your 2 food tiles, that's pretty much all you're going to want to do. You're going to want to get into your base, set up, get a lot of food, and that's it. So through that, let's talk about the kobolds. These little furry fuzzballs in the current style, let me tell you, as it's the weirdest thing. When I am playing as my goat and my ally is trying to do the wolf build, it is very peculiar for me to be trading with the kobolds, because I've already taken over the giants with my 4 trade posts, trading with the kobolds so I don't lose my infrastructure, and still see my wolf farming the kobolds for money. Because I tell you what, those little boogers respawn fast, and they respawn quickly. So if you clear out all the kobolds, which is probably about 5 or 6, giving you quite a bit of pocket change, if you leave them for, I don't know, 1 winter, you can pretty much run right back into them and clear out another 5 or 6 of them. I mean, they respawn very, very quickly. So what I've noticed is you'll have the goat player trading with the giants, doing their thing, trading with their allies if they need whatever resources. Once they've traded, either won or lost the giants to their opponents, or they've won them, they then start trading with the kobolds, which is perfect because I like the kobolds in their current setup. I very much would like to see them have some sort of later role, whether that be if you ally with them, or if you trade enough with them, you can maybe hire out kobold mercenaries, or hire out bonus little like protectorates, or maybe they can do running, attacking, and setting opponent houses on fire or something like that. Just annoying little sneaky stuff. That'd be kind of cool and interesting to see. But I've noticed, once I've traded with the giants, taken over them, and I'm trading with the kobolds, I will instruct my wolf to go and farm the kobolds, because you can attack them, and it's still not worth your time to take over them, because you only get about 50 fame, and that's really it for taking over the kobolds. But they give you a lot of money, like a substantial amount of money. For the new tiles, when we come to, what is it? It's Thor's Wrath and the Geyser. You have 2 tiles, one of which gives you a very substantial plus 5% attack damage, or attack. It's plus 5% attack bonus attack power universal, meaning if my goat player takes it, I also benefit from the plus 5%. Okay, everybody on my team benefits from it. Where in comparison to the Geyser, if my goat player takes it, he only receives plus 1 happiness and the plus 10% wood reduction. Just him. You have a universal tile trying to match the effectiveness or a single tile trying to match the effectiveness of a universal tile, at least in terms of team value. That doesn't work. You know, you need to have, if you want to balance those tiles out, you need to have it so either everyone on my team gets +1 happiness and -10 wood consumption through winter, or only one person gets +5% attack bonus, because if you have, it's just not fair. It's you know, it's mathematically, if you want to get scientific with it, it's just it's mathematically unfair. One guy can get, you know, if like I said, if you have, you know, one berserker with 8 warriors knocking on your front door, would you rather have your entire clan have +5 attack bonus, or one goat on your team has +1 happiness and -10 wood consumption? It's a really obvious, you know, which way you're going to want to lean, and you need to either buff the geyser so it's universal, or nerf Thor's Wrath so it's single, because they are not fair right now. And our last little bit, Big Bird. So Veldfornir, which is the it is the hawk on top of the eagle on top of Yggdrasil, which is the tree of life. Yeah, Norse mythology is just so wacky, isn't it? When you take over this guy, and he will scout, I believe he will scout 6 tiles within 1 year. I like it. It's a really cool little ability. I feel like, not many people go for him. In the 15 or 20 games that I've played so far, I think I've only seen him get... I like to go for him because, you know, it's kind of cool to have him flying around. But I've only really seen it competitively used maybe twice, and the one of the 2 times was because he happened to be in between our opponents, and the other guy just had to expand that way anyways. He was kind of like an additional bonus. He either needs to be so valuable that players want, he needs to become valuable that players want him, and right now he's not. What I would like to see Veldfornir be used as is either a controllable unit or a free scouting, like he'll push your shadows. So like, if I capture Veldfornir and I heal him up to 100% and he's just flying around, I can select 6 tiles on Northgard that I want scouted. So I can pick where I want him to scout, or I would like him to just naturally scout the darkness that we haven't already scouted. So he'll just kind of push the unscouted locations out, so that we have more general vision. Right now, having him scout, you know, 6 tiles kind of RNG or haphazardly, it doesn't really do much. It's like, okay, I now know that he has a woodcutter's lodge. Great. I now know that he has a trade post. Great. You know, it's a lot of very useless information. Or sometimes he just kind of scouts random uncontested tiles. It's like, oh cool, that 4-space tile with a bear on it, that is there, you know. If he was able to scout, maybe, I don't know, it's like I would love for him to like scout the Jotnar or the Kobolds or the middle of the map tile. But the problem is, by the time that you always scout the middle of the map tile by then, or you've always found the Jotnar, or you've always found the Kobolds, you know. Right now his value is kind of very minimal, and capturing him by itself it's sort of like, he's kind of like he's there if you want him, but yeah, that's about it. You know, he needs a little bit more value, and I think he needs some more, either a lot more control or a lot more pushing scouting thingy. On top of that, I want to jump back to the... Okay, yeah, there we go. The general clan control. We had talked about the woodcutters. Something that has also come up is the healer selection is not, I don't want to say broken, but it's not useful unless you are a host. So if I am the host and I select I select my healer's hut, I'm like, all right, I want you to heal the villagers first. I can do that. I can do that, no problem. But if I am not the host and I am joining into a match, I can't say, okay guys, ignore the 3 HP berserker, I need my woodcutters healed first. it doesn't work. And I've also seen a couple reports of people saying that it actually crashes their game. I really don't know how to address that because I don't know the specifics of it, but obviously that is also something that needs to be addressed because it's obviously a big problem. While we're on that, I still black screen. I don't know why. I use OpenGL, and it's not like any of my graphics cards are not up to date. Everything's all set, but it's weird. All right, so the last bit. Oh, that is okay. Well, that's attractive. Boy, oh boy. All right, there we go. So new clan theories. These are what I think are the new. One of these three I think are going to be the new clan, and here's my reasoning for each of them. So, Shiro Games has confirmed that it is going to be a wisdom-based clan. Okay, and I'll make sure to leave my wiki findings for each of them, as well as an interesting little image that while I was playing the game again, another reason why it's just so difficult to get Veldfornir. But so the reason I think it's the boar is because when we were first going to be introduced to the bear, they had kind of already made hints that it might be the boar, as well as, and I know this sounds weird, but again, it's the little things, and Shiro has made a lot of like hints and nods at you have to pay attention to these kind of really bizarre things. But on their beta Q&A, the thank you card was a boar. I know it's crazy and I know it's weird. I promise you, I know it's crazy. But they've made mentions before to it possibly being the boar. They added that image as the thank you card, and then when I was looking up just kind of different Norse mythology and symbols for symbols and animals for wisdom, images of the boar did show up, and actually the first two were signs of the image, and the third one's kind of like a shot in the dark. But so for the boar, I found that in Norse mythology, the boar is a sign of wisdom. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. So we have checkmark on it's wisdom-based, checkmark on Shiro Games has used it before, and checkmark on they've mentioned that it might possibly be the boar previously. So there's a lot of, there's connections to it. The horned owl. Where did I find information on you? Yeah, so sorry, for the boar, it's Hildisvini, which means battle swine, is Freya's boar in Norse mythology. Basically, yeah, this lady rides in on a battle swine, so that's kind of cool, but apparently this swine has some symbolism to wisdom and great decisions. The horned owl, I remember reading it had mention to do with being wisdom, and when you typically think of wisdom, the first thing you think of is it's either an owl or an eagle. And I was like, okay, so it's probably going to be an owl of some sort, because a lot of times that's what people think of as wisdom. When you think of a smart or sage person, at least in a lot of recent culture and media, you see an owl. So I was like, okay, so you've got the Norse boar, you have the culture media owl, and then the eagle. And the eagle is my personal favorite thought, because you have Veldfornir, which is the hawk, which is on the eagle that sits on the tree of life. That's the best I got, man. So yes, those are my top 3 guesses as to what I think the wisdom, the new clan is going to be. I really have no idea if these are accurate or not. I can't confirm or deny if any of them are right. I've tried to message some of the development team on whether any of these 3 are right, and they just kind of do the, well, I guess you'll have to find out, and I'm just like, okay, sure. So that's really it for me, guys. Just kind of a quick rundown of everything. The clan balance in hard difficulty, let's just jump real quick because we're going to do a TLDR so that I can mention it later. In hard difficulty, the strongest clans are wolf, goat, bear / raven. A lot of that is heavily on skill, which is good because with the implementation of a higher skill ceiling, you'll see a lot more stronger players kind of taking much more uncommon routes. In easy, you have goat, bear, stag/raven, and then wolf, again, because that is kind of how Shiro Games intended the meta to be. Woodcutters, having 2 of them is quite strong, just because of the infrastructure that you need, and it's a lot easier to play with having 2 woodcutter huts instead of just 1. Healers is still bugged for everyone besides the host for whatever reason. Here are the 3 new clans. There are some reasons. I'm shooting mostly in the dark. The first one because Shiro Games has made multiple mentions that it might be the bear, or the boar, excuse me. I found some wiki wisdom about why it might be the boar. Horned owl, in most pop culture and media, whatever you want to call it, a lot of times directors will use the owl as a symbol of wisdom or sage ideas. And eagle because they've included Veldfornir, and I'm thinking, hey, if they're going to include the hawk, why not include the eagle that sits on the tree, which has the frog with the bump on the log at the bottom of a pond. Okay, and for the last one, the kobolds, they are a great addition, though I would like to see some more use for them, whether that be for getting more kobold support, as in actual units that don't cost you anything, or just them attacking your opponents by setting some stuff on fire. Currently, they are a great way to farm money if you are the wolf, and other than that, they are kind of useless. New tiles for the Thor's Wrath. It is incredibly powerful in comparison to the Geyser, and so you either need to make everything universal for both, or neither should be universal because Thor's Wrath is incredibly powerful in comparison to the Geyser. And for Veldfornir, which is Big Bird, he is a very interesting concept, though I think that he either needs to be controlled or should naturally push out your undiscovered area, and or he needs to become a lot more useful so that it is worth your time to try and get him. Currently, at least in a lot of competitive matches, he's more or less ignored because he's so out of the way, and it costs a lot of food just to get to him, and it costs more time with your healers to try and heal him. So with that, guys, I hope you guys have a good afternoon, good night. I'll see all of you guys later, and thank you for staying so long. What do you guys think is the new clan? Let me know down below, and of course I will leave all of the information for the new clans and everything that I found in the description. Thanks, hope you guys have a good afternoon, good night. See you guys later. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.